Go. Do it.
And action.
That's why we keep her around, folks.
Because she works with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Oh man, touch you. Okay. Now honestly, was this haired Bruce Willis or like post-hair Bruce Willis?
Post-hair.
Post-hair. Okay, so
This was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So you're not talking about like blind date or anything.
No. And he had a body double, a head double.
Head double?
And we
Really?
called him Deuce Willis.
Oh my god.
That's fantastic. Deuce Willis.
So, welcome to the new episode of Createvil. My name is Dakota.
I'm Lance.
Oh, we're introducing ourselves.
I don't want to do it every time.
Wait, I'll do
I have
it.
to say my name. Thank you, Lance.
Encourage.
Yeah. Radio voice.
And we have a guest on the show today. His name is Stephen Stull, if I pronounced that right. Stull,
Yeah.
right?
It rhymes with
Awesome.
demon skull is what I tell people.
Nice. I feel like you should go with that as your name. I feel like you'd be
Might
like,
just change it.
you're like going up there like, yo, have you hung out with Demon? Bro, that guy's fucking insane. Or they'll be like, what's up, Skulls?
So, maybe, and today's episode is called Sick and Wrong.
Woo!
Yeah.
Plug.
Plugging it.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I guess I should really introduce Steven as to how I met him. So he was just looking for art director for his film, and I do a little bit of that myself. So I got the script for his...
Yeah, I want to hear your first reaction.
Oh, I read. Okay,
I'm never there when people
So
when people read it. I never get to see their faces.
so my I know. So my
This
first
should be a
reaction.
stipulation. You're like, videotape your face.
That's right.
And then send it to me.
So I'm horrible at telling stories. So thank you for letting me do this. So I got the script and I started reading through it, and it's like, it seemed like the normal opening to a movie.
Dudes in a bar.
Two dudes in a bar sitting there chit chatting, and then all of a sudden, like this, you hear this voice start coming out of nowhere, and you're like, "What is this?" And the characters start talking. All of a sudden, the character's got to leave because something's happening. Like, his stomach's gurgling. You don't really know what's happening. Well, in his stomach is literally Hitler. Hitler's face is embodied in this man. So, it was great. He was like, I need you to come into this hotel room and make it look like it was a hooker-infused party. So,
Wait. Did Hitler have like kind of like the same thing as like Total Recall?
Yeah.
Tommy
It
thing?
was a total like Adolf Quado going.
Oh,
on.
dude.
Yeah.
See, that to me would be amazing.
It's pretty fantastic.
let me tell you, like I watched it when the film was finished, and the special effects makeup and the whole thing done, awesome. A lot of work went into a lot of the molds for the casting and stuff, and seeing actually some of the behind the scenes stuff of the actors, the pictures of like how they had to even film it. It's done. It's very dark humor, but it's definitely awesome.
It was like, it was probably my, I don't know, I love this movie. I'm so happy about it. I guess it's shitty for me to say. I'm just supposed to be like, it's okay,
It's like the many of my children. I love them all the same.
But my effects artist, her name is Katie Gelhart. She is fantastic. She is absolutely amazing. But she made, so she did a couple things. First, she made a mold of a life cast of the guy playing Hitler. She made a mold of his face so that we could just glue it on the other actor's belly, right? For the wide shots. But then for the close-ups, she made a mold of the other actor's torso and then cut a hole in it so that the actor playing Hitler could stick his face through the hole and we could zoom in. And when I say she made a mold of this guy's torso, she molded his nipples perfectly. She plucked hair through so that it was like a perfect copy of his chest hair pattern, and then we stuck Hitler's face right up there in the middle. It was fantastic.
I feel like that's like the best thing about like when you have to like in any kind of movie, like when you're forced to like be creative,
use real
like real things. Like to me, that's like awesome because it's like stuff like that. I mean, like instead of having a fake robotic face that looks like something, like you literally had his face with a fake body, which I wouldn't even question the body. Like you sit there, you're going, oh man. Those effects are amazing. That looks like a real fucking person, dude. And then he's like, "What? It was a real person."
It was a real person.
That's amazing, dude.
I don't like. I guess maybe I could have like composited or CG'd something on there, but I hate doing that. Like, practical's so much better. I love getting sticky with it.
I think that's one of the best things about like
get sticky with it.
That's awesome. Like, I mean, but you know, like, that's what's kind of cool about when they just redid all like the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
they didn't go 100% CGI. They well, yeah, but they like a lot of stuff like a lot of scenes where there's certain people they went back to the old school, which made it like more legit.
Just, you know, that's so much like
American Werewolf in London. You know,
oh hell yeah,
you know,
I mean that's like a classic.
Amazing. I love that movie so much.
I watched it like 3 times this year, I think, just because I rediscovered how good it was, and it's really funny.
Have you seen that? They used to have it at I think it's at I think it was like MGM Studios, but they had that like that makeup section of the thing, and they used to have like the actual head mask and the so where it stretched out when he was changing.
Yeah, over in like Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I'm a pretty recent transplant to Orlando.
Oh really? Yeah. But I don't know if they still have it or not. But it was really sick. But they had like a lot. I mean, they did different costume things, but that was like one of their like because the pinnacle moment. I mean, honestly,
that was fantastic. Like this, that was basically the first time they ever did that, like, and didn't try to hide it behind a bunch of shadows and darkness, you know? They were just like, listen, we're proud of this shit, and they lit it up and stuck the camera right up in front of you so you could see it all, you know? It wasn't like, it wasn't like Spielberg trying to hide the broken shark, you know? It was like, here it is, it works, we're happy with it.
Exactly. I get that moment, though, if you really think about it. He goes, so much fucking water.
So much water. So this is your baby, you know, you put a lot of work into it, and didn't I hear you got some good news about it?
I did get some good news about it. Like, the movie has played some kind of small festivals, and to be clear, I'm super proud of every festival it goes to. Like, we were up in Atlanta for a horror festival called Buried Alive, which is amazing. Blake and Luke up there run a fantastic horror festival, and I was glad to play there. Hello. Oh, so what? Am I second billing here?
Bring in the cat.
Podcat cats, go ahead.
Podcat cats, go on.
But I recently just got incredible news. It's the movie's called The Jerry Show, and it is going to play at this year's Florida Film Festival in April. Which is, if you pay attention to festivals, it is a top tier festival. Yes, it is a monster, like 10-day thing where you got stars flying in from all over the place, and like it's funny. It's an Oscar qualifying festival, but that has no bearing on me because I'm definitely not going to be Oscar qualified. But it's just the fact that they do that at this festival makes me like I don't know. I'm really proud.
But doesn't it also give you leeway to later maybe get some grants and funding to another film, you know, so it brings you to the next level, more money in the next film, more crew, you know,
sponsors or even like I imagine like the sponsor factor
or
producer I guess would be really
that's
film scenario of that.
Hopefully, like I'm hoping it'll be at least a little boost for me to put the next time I try to run a crowdfunding campaign.
You know, the funny about that you said that because like I was talking about how I wish more because you know like you always wish certain like cult films they get that popularity, but like the major things don't do it, or if somebody does majorly get involved with it, they just put their little dirty hands in there and they change things around. But like the guys from Super Troopers, like those guys did that whole like
absolutely,
and then they made more money than they needed.
Right.
And it actually looked, I mean, have you seen the clip from it?
I saw the trailer.
It actually looked really funny, and it actually looked like they were able to like go back to their
and
roots.
Do exactly what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that.
I actually haven't planned to go see a movie in a theater in a long time, but I was like, I am planning to go see Super Troopers.
Yes, definitely.
But that's the thing. I mean, like, I hope for you at least anyways that opportunity, because I mean that's a rad thing to have, like someone just like kind of go, oh man, I love horror movies. This guy's awesome. If he had the money, what could he have really have done? Yeah,
that's like, I mean, you know, I don't want to sound too calculated about it or anything. I just sort of asked my way into this selection. I'm really happy about it, but that's my real hope is that like I didn't do that. The people who go to some of the smaller fests are, God love them, they're fantastic fans. And it's an absolute joy to talk to them, and I don't want to say anything bad about any of these little fests, but the people who go to fests like the Florida Film Festival are like film pros and stuff. You know? So that's the hope, is that it gets seen by somebody who has some kind of clout or something to say, okay, well, you know, this is pretty solid. What are you going to do next? And if not, like, I know I definitely can't mention any of the names, but I know some of the names of the people I'm going to be playing with in my program, and they're just filmmakers I love, like the kind of people who, you know, sort of inspired me to do these fucked up movies. And so I'm really just going to be happy to be there with a filmmaker badge. And
I mean, that's the thing about festivals altogether. Like, I mean, I know for me personally, like in the music part of it, like when I like my band plays, you know, Gainesville Fest or whatever.
Okay.
We go there, or like we played in like Canada for like Pooza Fest, and it was like rad for me because like half the time I'm there like going,
you're like
cool.
starstruck. Yeah.
I'm rad that my show's playing, but I could care less.
right.
I want to see all these other people that I never get to see, and like. I understand.
It gives you an excuse to like bump elbows and be like,
yeah,
hey, what's up, bro?
yeah. Like if I could just stand next to one of these guys and be like, "Hey, we got the same badge." Like,
The practice though is trying not to fanboy out of them.
Right.
Like that's the worst.
But does it not also feel good that you have worked and you are on this level of the people that you also look up to?
It's amazing. Like they talk about you hear about imposter syndrome, right? Like anybody who achieves any kind of success is going to be plagued with this feeling like maybe they don't deserve it, and I feel like that. I feel like I'm constantly going to be found out, like, you know.
Shit.
But I mean, I think like even Kevin Smith does that. And like, how far along is he? Like
at this point,
he's trying to like, my God, when are they going to figure out I'm just like fart jokes? like, you know what I mean? It's like I am that one hit guy that does the same thing over and over again, and you keep falling for it. No offense, Kevin Smith, if you ever hear this, I love you.
We love you.
Yeah, like,
I
don't want to do what Dakota did last time, where he shunned the artist that we finally got on the next episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You do a little creative editing around.
Shout out to Harley Poe again. Thank you.
Well, I guess this is the point where I'm supposed to like shit on, Guillermo del Toro. Like, be like, fuck those. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. Oh my God, that's a joke.
That guy just like automatically like because his look is pretty much almost like you know it. You like when you see it.
Absolutely. Did you see Shape of Water?
No,
Oh, so fucking good.
I downloaded it.
Beautiful.
Isn't it?
Okay, so this brings up a conversation that Lance and I had
I love
today.
him so much. Oh my God.
And
everything he does. You saw the video of him sticking coins up his nose? He did a video. It's like, I don't know who put it on, but it's on the internet. It's just like celebrities with goofy talents or something like that. And it's just Michael Shannon like playing the piano and sticking coins in his nose. And he just fills his nostrils up with coins, and he's amazing. I love everything Michael Shannon does.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sorority girl letter. Did you see that video?
No.
Oh my God, you guys, listen. Michael Shannon is my God. All right, there's a video of him doing a dramatic reading of this pissy letter that a sorority girl wrote to all the other girls in her sorority, and it's fucking Shakespeare. It's amazing. Like look up Michael Shannon sorority letter. It'll change your life. I swear. It's so fantastic. I'm sorry. You said Michael Shannon?
No. I love that. Like, everybody go do that.
Right now. Hit pause.
Michael Shannon sorority letter.
In my laptop.
I hope I get the guy some hits on this because it's fucking amazing.
So we bring up The Shape of Water. We were talking about this today because I watched the movie. I love that movie. Mm-hmm. Also like the tie-in to Hellboy.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so movie spoiler.
Well, the part of
not
the
really.
Like, I thought it was a little strained when Hellboy actually broke down the wall of the research facility down at the last. Oh, my bad, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was like,
when did
in
that
my
happen?
head, I'm like this way. Like, I saw both Hellboy movies. I don't know what he's talking about. Wait, what?
What? Is that Shape of Water? Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So
surprise cameo.
Talking about it, we were like, because there's, it's also a slight romance, and it's falling in love with a creature and then having sex with a creature, right? So I was watching that, and I was just like, I was with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh yeah, if there was like another like species or like female, like I'd probably like do that. And she's like, what, are you crazy? And I'm like, so it came with a discussion of like alien, monster, different species. Like, would you?
See, I love the fact that like because he went this route on this one, and I said, well, how weird is it for the fucking alien?
yeah.
Like because. You have a whole bunch of humans. You're my only choice.
Yeah.
Like, and he goes,
It's kind of the same.
Yeah, but see, Dakota's rebuttal to this was, it goes, well, he's a man.
It was more jokingly, but I was just saying.
Spent a lot of time at that research facility.
Yeah.
You got needs.
I'm an alien. I probably have a different thought process. But because I've been here long enough with you humans and I've seen you men, like, grab ass the whole time and make women feel really awkward, I feel like I know what's going on.
Yeah. Be sensitive to your needs. I'm not like these other military guys.
See that guy? That guy's a super jock, bro. Me right here, slimy and sensitive.
That was actually my entire pickup strategy all through college. Slimy and sensitive.
Just smile like just, who needs lube, girl? You never dry with me.
Hey, kitty, where are you going? Sorry. I'm not supposed to acknowledge. I just broke the rule.
I was like this. At this point, you don't even know what kind of cat you're talking about. All you said was, "What's up, kitty?" After I literally said, "Slick it in."
Like, what's up, kitty? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. He's like, "What's up, kitty?"
Podcast's about to take a weird turn.
Come here, kitty.
We like to do that.
Like, so is it bestiality, like, or is it? I mean, no,
Is
it's
it
a cat.
alienality?
Not the cat. The back to the shape of water.
Yeah.
So is it?
Alienate? How would you say that?
Alienality?
Yeah, right? Like, alienality?
I feel alienated.
Alienated.
It's
like
alienation. There it is.
Dude, by the way, that Will Smith movie, totally a rip-off of Alienation. If you've ever seen that movie.
Oh, Bright?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. It looks.
It's not bad, but
man.
it's like you literally watch it and you're like, wow, you really did it, but you just put orcs.
Instead of
aliens.
potato heads.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved Alienation so much. That is.
Did you see the TV series ever?
I saw a few episodes. I didn't see much of the run, but I did see a few episodes, and like, the cat threw me off. Oh, that was you that time. I showed you guys seen that video of that Russian pop star Vitus?
Yeah, the singer guy.
Yeah, that dude. So I made the mistake of showing that to some of my students, and now every time I go in there, somebody goes, and it gets stuck in my head for the rest of the day. I got Russian. So that's what she's made me think.
Here's the funny part about that is, he's not even Russian.
He's not?
He's actually Spaniard.
Really?
Yeah. No, and that's the thing what it was.
Yeah, he's got a good Spanish tongue, right?
Because somebody goes, I go, yeah, have you seen that Russian guy? And the guy looks at me and goes, oh, he's not Russian. Like, it was like somehow he was telling me the secret.
He's like,
no, he's Spaniard.
You're in the club now, man.
So he's not Spanish, he's Spaniard.
Spaniard. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Oh, God. But yeah, like... Oh my God, that's it. That's the soundtrack to my elevator to hell right now.
See, that's what you should have your next movie where they're like going somewhere really horrible, and that music comes on, and
like, oh, there's the signal.
Oh, dude, my favorite thing in the world of any
someone's
like
gonna die. Someone's gonna die.
Some sci-fi movie, like they're waiting to go like do something like just tragic,
and
like,
then they're stuck in an elevator. It's
the
like,
happiest fucking music in the world.
It's always like the girl from Ipanema, right?
Yeah. No matter the situation, they're all shaking their heads back and forth, like this is fucking cool. I'm good.
Yeah, I think that dude actually might be at the bottom of the elevator to hell.
Waiting for you.
Waiting, yeah.
It's a stage of fire, and there he is singing.
You show up there, and it's actually just your class of students. You're all just singing it.
They're all just, oh, God, yeah.
Oh, you've arrived.
I think I'd want the Trollololo guy to be at my
Oh, God, I forgot about him. Oh, that's a head on that. Oh, there he is. There's Michael Shannon. I'm telling you, you gotta watch that. Once again, shout out to Michael Shannon, sorority letter. Holy shit.
Is he super young in that?
Yeah, it's like 4 years old.
Yeah.
What?
It's like 4 years.
4? Yeah. Well, maybe it just looks really young because it's...
He's well lit.
He's well lit.
It's like the best lit YouTube video.
I mean, that'd be about when he was doing Boardwalk, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. That was right about that.
Yeah,
God,
well,
so
that and the fact that he played
I like all of
General
stuff
Zod. I mean,
yeah,
like,
it sucks because like he's done. I don't know. Maybe we'll get him back, but I'm thinking he did movies like Mud and Bug. That's exactly the one I was going to talk about. These little indie movies that were like super awesome. But now he's been in a fucking Superman movie. It's like, are we ever going to get him back on our side, down at the little level?
Well, I think Shape of Water's kind of throwing
it's
him back
a
into
huge
it.
budget.
Yeah, but the thing about that is
But it's won some great awards.
it's like
this
Del Toro. I mean, all this. Like, if anything, he's pushing him back up into the like a stratosphere.
Yeah, like
Where, bro?
Bug was fucking awesome. I loved Bug, and it was probably the quintessential example of like bad marketing, because you watch the trailer for that movie cut by the studio, and it's a monster movie according to them. Like, you watch the trailer, and it's just a straight up monster movie. But have you guys seen Bug?
No, I have not seen
God,
Bug.
Bug is
Wait,
basically
it's
a
basically
play.
the one on the.
It is a play. It's
Yeah.
hard- yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
the one in the hotel. What's that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're
Hotel.
scratching it out of their skin and they
Yes.
have the copper one.
Oh,
yeah, no, this
God.
movie's like intense, dude.
It's
Yeah.
so
You know who's
intense.
in it is
It's how like
Ashley
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 Judd.
Judd.
Yeah.
And like you see
it's
that
how, like
like,
crackheads
you're-
really feel. They're like,
Yeah.
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 It's basically a rave
Paranoia
movie.
thing.
It is. It is that fully outdo thing, and then like the last act, they're like fucking aluminum foil the entire
In the
hotel.
window.
I don't want to. You gotta watch it.
I don't
want to
watch the last scene.
It's
either.
fantastic. It's so good.
No, I really want to
Crack
see it.
smoke.
How bad do you wish? How bad do you wish there was still like kind of like the greenlit like series?
Oh, Project Greenlight.
Yeah, because like stuff like that was really cool
Yeah,
because
dude.
they did that first
Feast.
movie and then the second one it was
Feast.
Feast, and I have that on DVD. Like
Fuck
I do too.
I have the whole trilogy on my birthday. I watch it.
Yeah.
All the whole trilogy.
but like you know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where like Feast was good. I mean that guy was a little
Yeah.
kind of a pain in the ass kind of deal. Like
well, I don't know. I mean, like,
how do you feel about that? Actually, let me ask because like he comes off as a kind of like really
talking
hard to
about
deal with.
John Gulager, the director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that series, at least,
that
anyways.
series, yeah,
because who knows
yeah.
how they edited that?
How they
man?
edited,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like I mean,
The thing is, like, I watched that movie, and I don't know, man. I sort of really feel John Gulager, because like he's this dude who according to the series, like when you watch the series that season, you know, you could tell he's got so much wild shit going on in his head.
yeah.
And he's just so weird and awkward that he like can't communicate with people. And that's exactly what I feel like on set. I'm like, can you just make it? Just turn the put the fuck. Listen, just give it to me. You know, that's what I feel
I
like.
feel like if I was talking, I'd be like, use your words.
Use your word. Yeah. That's
Use
what
your
I'm
words.
like saying. I'm like, use your words, buddy. But
So you felt for him then?
I
Like,
did.
Like you're
I
watching that
did.
series, and he's like,
I watched him.
I understand your pain, bro.
in the very first one where they did the interviews. Remember they interviewed all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
directors.
yeah.
He came in with that creepy ass painting, and he's like, "This is what I think of. It's just sort of dark and then like on the other side of the room are Damon and Affleck and they're all just like staring at him.
Chris something or other, right?
Yeah, Chris.
He's the one that did like the apple pie movies or whatever.
Right.
Like
Chris Hemsworth,
No,
No.
American Pie.
no,
Apple-
he was the producer of it. So like
one of my
Chris something. I
buddies-
can't remember his name.
I
Yeah,
went to-
it is Chris something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
Chris something.
I want to say
No.
Chris Appletown.
Chris
I'm like I'm mixing people together.
But they're just sitting there looking at him, and he's this fat 40-something-year-old dude with a creepy ass painting and a puppy dog, beaten puppy dog look on his face, and they're all like, "What are we in the room with right now?" and I feel like that's me. Like, I mean,
I feel like Ben Affleck goes, he knows my secret.
yeah, exactly. But John Gulager, I gotta shout. Like, I don't know if he's gonna listen to this or not, but he's a fantastic human being. He's one of the few. Like, I don't know. When I first got on Facebook, I was looking around for interesting people, and you know, they don't have their own pages. They have like pages, like fan pages.
The official page.
Right. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the official page of whoever or whatever. John Gulager is his own Facebook person, and he accepted my friend request without like any message or anything. And like he and his wife, who played, actually I don't know if they're married. Maybe that's not right. Anyway, she played the biker. Yeah, Diane Goldner.
Yeah.
She took my request too, and they post stuff online, and I comment, and they
What about
comment
his dad?
back. Clue. I think I follow Clue's Instagram or something, but yeah, I don't think he's on Facebook himself. But I loved the Feast movies. I love so much. Like, the first one's good. Like, the first one's a fun, gross monster movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the other two?
No.
Oh my god, dude. The other two go off the fucking rails. I don't know whether it's because they were off, like, they didn't have the Dimension people watching over their shoulders, but, like, you know, if you kind of felt watching the first movie or watching the season that, the season of Greenlight, that John was sort of like being reined in, they're gone. Their reining in is totally gone for the next 2 movies. It goes balls to the wall.
Really?
I'm telling you, there's shit that happens. Like, there's a dude who, like, a karate expert who gets both his arms ripped off and keeps fighting, and he's like, "Fuck, I look like a goddamn foosball player." And then I don't want to spoil it. You got to do you got to do like a marathon of all 3 of them, man. And then you can come over to my house, man, because it's fucking amazing. Because the end of the 3rd one, your brain will leak out of your nose. I swear to God. When the 3rd one ends, it's like it comes down and something happens, and I don't want to throw anything out there.
He's getting excited.
I'm so excited. I love these movies.
He's getting excited, and the rest of us are getting excited again.
Yeah, the feast. It's all. They didn't have the same budget for the other 2 movies that they did for the first one, so
it's
more,
like more intense, less.
But then it goes back to what I was saying before: is when you gotta be creative.
You're forced to.
Yeah, like you do these things where like it's like kind of oh man, we could easily do this. Let's do that. Let's.
Oh my God! I just remembered the baby.
I was shocked they picked him. Honestly,
there's a baby throwing scene, dude. You have to watch these movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, but no, it's even that. But I was like, I'm surprised that they even picked it.
Yeah.
So I was actually stoked that they actually picked a horror film, and I think they did it because they weren't expected to do that.
Right.
They had just done this other one, the first season, where it was like this
as these like
really dramatic thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, I don't even remember. I remember the second one, Battle of Shaker Heights, was kind of a fun young people coming of age thing. I don't even remember what the first one was called, but it was like about a Jewish family.
There was a firefighter, and like they were like, it was
shit on by the.
Yeah,
it's Oscar bait, right? You know? So then season 3 came along, and I was like, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. That's my shit right there.
Yeah, Henry Rollins.
It's so good. Oh yeah, Henry Rollins. He's so awesome. Oh, I love that. And that movie.
I fanboyed out when I met Henry Rollins. It was pretty
Did
sick.
you? Yeah.
I definitely fanboyed out.
Was it one of his speaking tours or?
Yeah. Actually, Karen and I went to it. It was pretty dope. The picture I got with him, I was literally covering my face. I didn't feel really. It's like the only picture I have with Henry Rollins. I'm not even in it.
That's funny.
Cool dude.
A couple of friends of mine met him on one tour, and they did a picture of him where he's just standing there looking like a normal guy, and they're both doing the fist up, resist thing, standing next to him. It looks really funny. He sounds like a fun guy to hang out with.
Let's. You're Sick and Wrong Film Fest.
Sick and Wrong.
I am.
Oh my God.
I can sadly say I haven't gone, but that's only because I have shows when you're doing.
When
you're doing stuff. How many years have you been doing it now?
So we finished our second year this past November. I am already in submission period for the 3rd year. In fact, I'm so bad at social media. Like the early bird deadline's about to end, and I need to go post something on Facebook or something like that. Yeah. But we're the 3rd year is starting up right now. It's hard because like it's a weirdo thing, and it needs to be toward the end of the year. The first year I did it in October, and there's just too much going on in October. There's too much to fight with in October. There's all these different. Events
and actually that's when Gainesville Fest is musically wise.
But do you think if you got it to the level you could do it in October? Not to say you couldn't now, but I understand why. I understand the level of competition.
Yeah, I don't have any illusions about.
It could be cool if you did like the second week of November.
This year it's gonna start on the 2nd. It's gonna be like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
November.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because you would think. Some of the stuff's already been done from October, but it's close enough to where you could like.
You could still like if you were in town for some kind of big Halloween event.
Doesn't Spooky do their thing like not even like they do it twice a year? Like almost.
Yeah, they have one in like summertime.
Yeah, like
August, July. I don't know, May. May, June, sometime around there.
Does your fest kind of focus more on film stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a film festival straight up. We do mostly short films. Like we had a feature this past year. Which again, I just like to point out everybody who does awesome. I screened a feature called Assholes by a director named Peter Vack. If you get fucking Jesus, that is a mind bender right there.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to summarize a movie like that, but it's about these people like. Anyway, I'll talk about Assholes. Look up Assholes. It's so good. It's about this brother and sister and their best friend who all have the same therapist, and they're all bad people, and their parents are bad people. Except it's directed by the star, and stars his real sister and his real best friend and his real therapist, who's all their therapist, and his real parents. And I personally, I don't think I could direct the scene of my best friend rimming my sister out. I think maybe he left the room and left him alone with the camera or something like that.
Or maybe he's super into
Or maybe he's super into it. He
like,
watched this movie.
He goes, I got this idea.
This is the sick and
You-
raw.
This is the second round.
And like maybe his best friends were like this going, dude, it's your sister.
His
And
parents
he's
are like,
"Listen,
dude,
don't pretend I'm not here. Just pretend I'm not here. But they
When
end
did
up
he get to
accidentally
nerds?
summoning a shit demon, played by Eileen Dietz from The Exorcist. Oh my god, it's such a good movie. It's
Wow.
so fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So mostly we do short films, but we had a feature this year, and I'm hoping we get another feature at least that good for.
Is that
next
something
year.
you're trying to push into, maybe?
Yeah, like I mean, I'll tell you, I don't know whether you guys know this. I volunteered at a film festival. I don't know whether this story, like to me, this story. Oh, pause. I like that. It's in unison.
We slightly interrupted for another sweet nectar of the gods from Glass House Brewery.
Hourglass.
Hourglass.
You can't do a plug right.
Oh, Hourglass. That's a good place. I've
Yeah,
been a couple times.
so
Oh,
good.
nice.
You can't remember the name. No, just kidding. It's a Hourglass Brewing. Yeah, we're drinking these tasty beers. The Morlock.
Oh, that's good.
You know what's really cool
Cool
about podcasts?
Yeah. Editing. We're not live.
Like, just kidding.
So all right. So I'll talk, if you don't mind, about the inception of Sick and Wrong. I
Please.
was volunteering at this festival, and it's a top tier festival, and it may or may not be the one I just mentioned a little while ago.
The one he's getting.
So I was volunteering at this festival, and I knew it was a prestige festival, right? They were having all these big indie movies come out, and they were doing, they would have somebody famous come down and screen one of their old famous movies, and it was a real like Sundancey kind of
Vibe.
snooty vibe, right? And then so I was volunteering, and you get to take space available seats if you're a volunteer, right? Like if there's still empty seats in theater, they let you in at the end. So I went in, and I noticed on the schedule they had something called a midnight program, and I had no experience with festivals, so anybody listening to this who does knows I'm an idiot for not knowing what this was.
I love how all three of us
We're
were
like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Well, okay.
Totally
I've been
moron.
to a lot of festivals.
I'll
but, yeah.
inform you, idiots. But the midnight festival, the midnight program was an hour and a half of shorts that were nothing like the stuff I was watching during the day. During the day, I was watching all these like I said watching, and you can edit that out. During the day, I'm watching all these like prestige movies, these big Oscar bait movies, these indie movies with heartfelt stories, and they're great movies. They're fantastic. Of course, they're great movies, but they're not blowing my skirt up particularly. So I go to the Midnights, and the first movie on there, and this is on Vimeo. You can find this one. It's by a guy named Steve Gerard. It's called Wad Op, and I'll have to show you how to spell that.
What was that again?
Wad Op.
Is it WAD?
It's Oh God! It's WAWD.
What?
AHP. Wild Op. I don't fucking know, man.
I
But
kind of feel like I understand that.
it was like a
You would.
waking.
I totally do. I'm like, I suck at spelling, so I mean, yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
And it's the first movie in the Midnight Shorts program, And I can't talk it up enough because it's the reason Sick and Wrong exists. Because in the first 30 seconds of this movie, this white dude with cornrows is like rapping to himself in the mirror, and then he cuts his own head off, and then takes it to the bathtub and starts fucking the neck hole, and then this fucking like acid trip begins. Like you follow the sperm down the drain in the sink, and it turns into this weird animated thing. It doesn't matter. It's fucking amazing, and you need to go find 3 minutes of your day and look this up on Vimeo because it is beautiful. And I watched that whole Midnight Shorts program, and they were the most bonkers, mind-bending fucking things I'd ever seen in my life. I'd never seen any movies like these before, and I thought I was pretty out there, you know? And the first thing I thought after it was over was, why isn't this festival propping this up? You know, because this is a festival with huge advertising budgets, and they have a monster marketing push.
Do you feel like they sell it short, that part?
I think...
Like, why even have it if you're not even going to push it?
Honestly, and I kind of hate to say that. I don't want to step on any toes. I think they have a fantastic program. I want to make that 100% clear. Yeah. I think it's an amazing festival with a fantastic program, but I think there are, in the part of town where it takes place, there's a very rich... white Florida money.
Right. It's at the end zone, right?
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah, bougie as fuck.
Yeah.
God, I hope they don't listen. Listen, guys. I'm so happy. I gotta say, I love the Midnights program. The Midnights program legitimately changed my life, and every year I've been going back, and I've been making it a point to go to the Midnights. And my dream that very first year was to make a movie that would go into the Midnight Shorts program, and it is the driving force for everything I've made since then. And it only took me 4 years, but I finally did it. I got a movie into the Midnight Shorts, nice. And I'm just so happy. So, yes, if anybody's listening, if you're going to the Florida Film Festival, both Saturday nights, midnight on each Saturday night, the 7th and the 14th, my movie is playing in the Midnight Shorts program. Come see it. I will be there drunk.
I'm not going to lie. Like, honestly, straight up, like... that comes into town.
Yeah.
I'm just not into that idea, and I love movies. Like
right.
I have a deep love for that, but I know what that ends up being is these indie flick type of things, Oscar whatever's.
It's fun. What's it called?
So that's the thing.
But that's what I'm saying. I would go because
I think
you do the midnight thing. That's what I would say. I'm saying you just sold me on the midnight thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like. Hugh Hunter got me like going.
So you wouldn't go during the daytime?
Yeah, no. I would not normally go to, but now that you just said the midnight thing is like kick ass, and what you just said movie wise, I was like, well, shit.
In the line, everyone's wearing black at the midnight show.
Or weird clown clothes.
Defending the day program.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Karen's hoping that you go to the day. See the things.
It's good. Go to everything. Get yourself.
Or go to the midnight thing.
Go to the midnight thing for real. But yeah, they have this world class bonkers Midnights program, and I just never saw any of that in any of their marketing. And I thought, well, dude, I would love to see a whole festival of this. I don't know how many people can handle more than an hour and a half of these fucking brain benders. I hope they're enough because that's what I do now. Like, that's what the Sick and Wrong Festival is. Like, it's not... Like, I love horror movies. I love gory things, but Sick and Wrong is really about uncategorizably weird things, you know? Anything that, like, if it makes you sick... and it makes you laugh at the same time, then that's exactly what I want in Sick and Wrong, awesome. You know? I don't know. I'm so bad at talking about Sick and Wrong.
No, I think it really plays with that really weird feeling that we don't want to feel good about, but you're like, oh, yes. I'm laughing at this.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, the Sick and Wrong Festival, which is mine, I'm switching back for anybody who's
where do you actually host it at?
You know, that's a good question. The last 2 years, I went to the Venue, which is what it's called. It's a place on Virginia Avenue. I want to make it 100% clear that I absolutely love the people at the Venue. They are fantastic, and they've been very, very welcoming, and they're totally down for anything I want to do in there. But the, like, projection setup, it's not exactly what I'm looking for a film festival. It's not really set up for film. It's set up for live performances, you know. And
I just went and saw the one there recently, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like they got I don't know. It's a great place, and they're wonderful people, and I love Jackie and I love Blue. But I'm looking at the moment. I'm kind of shopping for venues. Like
what's the dream one?
The dream one would be, let's see, what was it?
Just so we can shout it out to them.
Just so I shout out.
This is why we do this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't get people to call me back. Like, I thought maybe,
Have you thought about the Enzion?
listen, I did think about the Enzion, and I met with the Enzion, and they have, like, besides issues of price, which I couldn't have handled, like, I shouldn't have gone to asked about the Enzion. I was wasting their time, I'm sure, the first year I did it. But even if price isn't an issue, they have a pretty hardcore cutoff point where any event you're going to hold has to be done by 2:30 in the afternoon if it's a weekend.
Really?
If it's a weekend, I mean, they make too much money in other weekend shows, you know.
Right.
So,
with food costs and everything, 'cause they do
right.
the whole
They do the whole, yeah. So that's just not, like, you can't have a festival that ends at 2:30 in the afternoon, right? Like,
So if you are listening to this and you know, you have an awesome place that you would love to host Stephen's Sick and Wrong Film Festival, please hit us up, let him know.
Where can they hit you up?
Well, I have, let's see, speaking of Demon Skull, that's my website, demonskull.org. or I couldn't take demonskull.com, sadly, because that's the...
org.
But org, yeah. demonskull.org.
.gov. Organization.
.gov, yeah, that's what I should have gone for, yeah.
Or
you could just find Sick and Wrong on Facebook. It's Sick and Wrong.
like the
actual
letter.
Like the letter, yeah. And I think there's some other things called Sick and Wrong. I don't know what those are, but the Sick and Wrong is me. And you send me a Facebook message. I'll see. Eventually, I'm still on Facebook, even though all the teens have left. Sorry. But yeah, I thought, like, because I thought the Stardust might be a good place for it because they have a bar right there and
Are you talking about the down over there by Lake Yola one or the one over by Big Daddy's?
You know, I've been living here since 2007, and I still don't know where Lake Yola is. It is across the street from Big Daddy's, though. Like, at Corinne Drive.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
It's a coffee... I guess it was a...
Yeah, it's a coffee shop. It's still a coffee shop, technically, but it has a bar in there.
Right, and I thought that'd be a good place because then people could eat right there, and I went... Because I tried to get a food truck out last year,
Really?
and this fucking dude, I'm not going to name names, but this food truck came out and was an absolute screaming anal fisher to deal with, man. It was such a pain in the ass.
Did he serve sushi?
No, no, it was like fried chicken or something like that. But he was just like,
Hey, let me know. Actually, honestly, we know a couple
truck
people. Yeah, easily. And we can even cater to like the vegan.
Oh, okay.
Scenario or vegetarian. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure people who like
shit. Maybe it could just be hosted by Createvil. That'd be fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm open to all things. Like I just want to. Like, I want to expand. I just love... It's the most fun thing I do.
So how many people do you think came out last year? Maybe you don't want to say this. I don't know if you do.
I don't know. If it's like a trade secret or something. I don't know. I think it was about 50 people.
Yeah?
I'll tell you a funny story, though. First night, like, when I sell tickets... Like, I sell tickets online to the thing, and I don't feel like I've succeeded unless I get a total stranger show up, you know? Because it gets easy to get your friends to come out to stuff, right?
No, I feel you.
But that first time you get a ticket sale to somebody who you have no idea who it is, you just get
like,
so
how
happy.
did you hear about this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So online, a couple weeks before the festival, I sold 2 VIP tickets to a stranger I'd never heard of before in my life, and I was so thrilled. I was like, "Oh, somebody bought VIP tickets to my weird ass thing," you know?
Yeah.
And so the night of, like, the first program gets rolling, and my girlfriend, she's running the ticket sales on site for me in the registration. So she calls me in and she's like, "Hey, I need you to come talk to this person." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on? I'll go come talk." And I get in there and there's a woman who is fantastically drunk, staggeringly, stumblingly shit-faced. And she's asking me where the actors are. And I said, I'm sorry? She's like, you know, your whole Sick and Wrong thing, like where are the actors gonna be before they like come out and jump at us? And I was like, what? what are you talking about?
She thought it was a live action.
Yeah, she's like,
Like a haunted house? Like,
yeah, I guess so. I'm like, she's like, well, we paid for the VIP tickets because we wanted to get the whole VIP experience, but then somebody said something about it just being some filmmakers, and I said, yeah, well, it's a film festival. She's like, okay, no, I get that, but like, are they backstage right now? Are they gonna come out while we're in? And I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? You're insane. I said, no, this is a film festival. You go over there.
I feel like what you should have done, like when she was that drunk, you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be right back. I'm pretty sure everybody that's here in this audience are freaky to you.
I found myself in the bizarre position of having to explain to a woman probably too drunk to be able to, read a stop sign, right? What a film festival is. I'm like, okay, you're gonna go into the theater and you're gonna sit and you're gonna watch movies. And she said, oh, you guys are just gonna watch a movie? And I said, no, we're gonna watch like 50 movies. And she turned to her companion, who was a dude. In all fairness, this dude looked mortified for her. Like, he was absolutely embarrassed. He was like, come on, let's just go. Come on, let's go. But she turns to him,
just eat this and go.
let's just fuck off. Yeah, and so she turns to him and she says, they're watching movies. And I'm like, what the fuck did you think a film festival was? You drunk asshole. What is the matter with you? And oh God, I gave a refund because I'm an idiot.
What?
I know.
No.
I'm stupid.
Come on, man.
But
Like,
she's
she's not like she's gonna write a bad press about you.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
didn't even give me my fucking money back.
They didn't
I
jump
thought it
out
had
of
actors in it on a film fest.
They didn't jump out or scare me or nothing.
Yeah.
I know.
What was gonna be the downside of that scenario if you kept her money?
Yeah, she might have stuck around. I guess
She would have ruined it for everybody else. Can you believe how fake it looks?
all the actors are on screen. What?
I can't believe they're not really chopping my head off. At that point, I would be like, we can make that
We
happen.
can make that happen. We know some people. We can make this shit happen.
Dude, that's hilarious. That's horrible.
Oh my
Funny as
God.
fuck, though.
It was
Kind of like your fest.
Kind of like exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't be sick and wrong if something fucking bizarre didn't happen.
Maybe you can put that little moment in a movie.
Yeah, let's see if I can. Yeah,
But then you can have it end the way you want it to end, with their heads being chopped off.
Lots
All
of
right.
hacking and yeah.
I love horror movies. It's like that little moment you're like, oh no, I really wanted to murder all of you.
Don't ask for your refund. It's take it wrong.
Don't. Yeah.
No, just kidding.
That was only the one time it happened.
Do one of the running something that happens with film festivals is I love him. I love him so much. That's John Waters on the screen, by the way.
It makes you question what we're watching, like while we're John Waters.
What's it, John Waters? It's fitting. There's something weird happens. I never plan themes for the festival, but then depending on the movies that I get, sometimes these themes kind of appear.
Yeah, it's like rises to the top.
Yeah. Like there's there's a bunch of movies about cats. We had a whole program full of cat movies. But one of the themes that came up this past year in all the submissions was penis dismemberment. I got
it was a bad year, man. It was 2000.
At least a dozen movies about penises getting severed and hacked and burned with acid. And...
Have you ever seen that RoboCop?
Yes.
Yeah,
I know.
Where he starts just blowing fucking dudes' dicks off.
Yeah.
I'm like, and there's part of me that's like this one.
Scene 27.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it's literally like this moment where he's like,
just.
And then that last dude comes out and he's like, "Fucking do it!" Oh my god.
His wiener is
so
literally the size of anybody's pinky. Almost
and then
a
it
child's
starts
pinky.
inflating.
Oh my god. And you're just sitting there watching it going like this. You're literally in jaw shock. Like, my god.
The first woman who came out, the blonde, she's an actress. She's awesome too. She's a Facebook friend of mine too. Yeah, her name's Kate Front. Oh, sorry.
Oh, from that.
From that scene.
Oh, she's the chick that's screaming.
Yeah,
she looked really close to the same chick, by the way. Same.
And then at the end, she's just kind of standing there like, what? All these dudes got their dicks. I don't know what to do here.
I mean, honestly, it was the perfect suggestion to not being raped.
Yeah. Just watching dicks get blown.
If I was a guy who
I
ever
feel
thought
better
about
right now.
That's if anybody's wondering what the hell we're talking about. There's another thing you can watch right now.
Yeah.
It's on Vimeo as well. It's called it's from a sequence called Our RoboCop movie.
Yeah.
Which is like a crowdsourced version of remake of RoboCop. So like people all over the country just did their own. They got assigned a scene and they just redid that scene. So this is scene 27, I think. And
I love how you're like very more descriptive than I was.
Yeah, he was actually 27.
Yeah. Like I was like you literally can go on YouTube and go RoboCop penis shooting scene.
That too.
I'm pretty sure you're getting the same video.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the star of that, the woman. Her name's Kate Freund. She's married to a guy named Rob Schraub, who, oh my God, you guys, I
like he's like old school Matt Pinfield of
like,
movie people in the background thing.
I got
like,
kind of a Matt Pinfield
oh
thing
yeah,
going on.
you kind of do. I feel you, man.
But Rob Schraub, you guys, Rob Schraub is fucking awesome.
That's so fun to say.
He made Rob Schraub, yeah. He made Scud the Disposable Assassin, which was a comic book. And then he, this is from that, like this. Anyway, he's directing the next Lego movie, and he's so fucking. I can't believe I geek out over this guy. He's so amazing. He and Dan Harmon created Channel 101. Do you guys know what Channel 101 is? Oh my God!
It's the I've seen this before. Yeah,
it's like an
really
online
cool.
film festival sort of thing, where like people make, instead of making movies, they make like a 5-minute TV show. And then it gets.
I have a UVR.
Okay.
I have UVR, but it is more Japanese, kind of like horror movies and like.
Oh no, not this one, but yeah.
But they have like little short film stuff a lot of times.
Right. And I don't know. Anyway, look up Rob Schraub. He's amazing. He's fucking awesome.
That's what he's doing the Lego movie.
He's doing the second Lego movie. I forgot where I was going with this. I don't know. I just want to talk about people I think are cool.
That's what we do on the show.
Would you ever do that though? Like, let's say somebody liked the way you do your filming, but like wanted you to do a straight lace directing scenario.
Yeah.
Could you even do it? Would you be like, oh, I need the blood, or something. Like somebody needs to like fall really hard.
Yeah, like what would be your like picture perfect ideal of like if you had to do something outside of your genre or what you wanted to do? Like, would it be a rom-com? Or would it be like...
Actually, I would be really crazy to see you do a rom-com.
Yeah. I mean, the comedy would still
sick
be
humor.
there.
You do sick humor, just
no one dies.
What?
Except in your heart.
I don't know. I've had this idea, like, kind of kick around in my head. Did you ever see any of, like, the Joe Swanberg stuff? Like, Nights and Weekends or... No, he's one of the progenitors of mumblecore. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's one of the early ones on this. And I watched. There's Orlandoans. There's a guy named Josh Martin who runs an event called Uncomfortable Brunch.
Yes.
You know Uncomfortable Brunch?
Yeah.
I love Uncomfortable Brunch. You go and you eat a tasty brunch and you watch a movie that makes you really uncomfortable at the same time.
Cool.
Spring Breakers, not this weekend, next weekend. They're doing, well, it'll be too far past. Whatever. Anyway, go to Uncomfortable Brunch. Whatever it is, go watch it.
For us, it's perfect. For you guys,
sorry.
In the nicest way.
So I saw Nights and Weekends and I thought, holy shit, like, this is... I could do this. Because I never thought about making a feature. Because making a short with lots of blood and severed penises and stuff is really expensive if you're doing it like
right.
Yeah.
You're doing it right.
But I'm watching,
longevity of penis falling.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy looks
so
legit.
I'm watching Nights and Weekends, and there's no severed penises, sadly. But it is a feature, and it must have cost like nothing. I could do that. And I was thinking, if I were gonna make a movie that didn't involve any severed penises or any reincarnated Hitlers, or any wobbling tit monsters or anything.
Like, what?
It would probably be something like that. Why would you?
I take back my question. Fuck that. Don't ever do another fucking.
No, it's just.
But yeah, still though.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the tit monster.
It's not. That's the next one.
Oh,
man.
Woo, you just got it right here, folks.
Oh, hot take. Yeah. That's what I'm like. I gotta shoot. I got like I don't know what it is.
Hot titty steak one.
Hot titty. I think the thing, like, I don't want to spoil anything for all of you guys going out to the midnight show at the Florida Film Festival because you're gonna see my movie. But there was a lot of like dick play in that one. And I feel like I need to see some boobs in the next movie, so the next movie is just going to be all about boobs.
The boob monster.
I want to tell you. I appreciate you for starting off with Dick.
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
only
see
fair.
more Dick.
There
in
need to be.
movies.
I believe
I mean,
there need to be more dicks.
As a guy, I feel like it is very unfair that you don't see much cock
It's just-
and anything. Like, I mean, you know, somebody's like, oh, there's a penis. I mean, honestly, I probably saw more penis in that RoboCop.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So many
Like,
penises.
there's a moment I'm like,
It's like,
oh, wow.
It's like there may be a limit on the number of penises I can see in 1 minute. You know, like but
I mean,
I haven't reached it yet. I'm trying to find
I
that.
haven't reached it yet.
I feel like you should do like the Total Recall version of a penis, but you have 3 penises.
Where, like
A
it's
penis
the
and a
it's the
penis.
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it's the guy hooker's like
yeah,
Oh, nice.
he whips it out and goes, "What's up, ladies?" When you fold them together, it becomes a monster cock.
there is a dude. Oh my god.
I love how you started that sentence.
There's a guy.
No guy.
There's a real life guy. Do you guys know about this? He's a real life dude. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yes!
physics?
Yes, there's a dude with
Yeah.
2 fully functioning penises. Completely functioning.
I've seen that.
And I haven't seen his face. He doesn't really
No.
he doesn't want his identity out there. But he's put pictures of his cocks up on Reddit before. And like he did a whole AMA. You remember that?
I remember the AMA.
He did a whole
I'm
AMA
sad
and
I
people were
missed
asking
that.
things. And he's
Karen's like this, but I'm gonna look it up.
I'm looking it up now. I'm sure Reddit saves everything. It's on there somewhere, right?
Reddit saves it.
Yeah. And
See, that's funny that you said it because like I've seen before where they do the thing where they grab your dick and they do the same thing with your tongue,
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
cut it down to your
They fork it.
urethra.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you split
end
your
up-
dick.
Do you know?
Ah.
Do you know where that originated? I read that originated.
It's a tribe.
Cooking
It's,
hot
yeah,
dogs.
it's Australia.
Yeah,
because,
There's a tribe that actually does that purposely.
Right, because they venerate the kangaroo, and the kangaroo is a marsupial. And I don't know whether you guys know this or not, but all
I know.
marsupial dudes have 2 dicks. They
Oh,
have split dicks,
shit.
and the female marsupials have 2 vaginas, like on
Right.
the inside.
Right.
Wait,
I don't know what I'm
how
doing.
do they reciprocate that in the woman world when the guys? are
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
that?
I don't know whether the
I
women
mean,
do
oh,
it.
I get it.
But the dudes are like, oh,
It's
I
like
need to have-
asshole and vagina.
I just turn sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
course.
Karen. Literally, Karen will look at me and go, "Yes," like with a deep look in her. I'm going, "Yeah, I want to see it too, Karen." Next film again.
So they do that because it's not like it's like they worship the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is.
They
Yeah,
think they want to be more like the kangaroo, so they split their cocks like kangaroo cocks.
they cut their stomach open, so they can put their little ruse in there.
That's called a marsupium.
Oh, is that
The
what
little
it's
pocket, that's called a marsupium.
I
I
used
watched
to
the whole
smile
thing on
on the group
Marsupials.
right here.
That's
I'm
pretty
acting like I
interesting.
have one, but I was so happy when I learned the word, so then I could talk about the pockets on all my hoodies, like
Marsupial.
That's where I put my hands in my marsupial, bro.
I don't know, like I feel like I should do a National Geographic series on weird penises of the animal kingdom.
That'd be good.
Because all marsupials have weird ass pronged penises, but have you ever seen an echidna penis? An echidna penis, I swear to God, has a fist at the end of it. It's got a fist with 4 nubs that grow out at the end. Guys, listen, you gotta Google these penises, alright? The echidna penis is a monster.
I feel like you literally should do a new movie where some guy goes out there to mutilate people in each penis type style, and he happens to be a teacher.
Right. So he's like a biology teacher
Yes!
or something. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
alright,
Like,
hack.
It's all cool, and then
hack,
every
hack.
student who is an asshole to him, he
He
goes out of his
slices right down the
way and
middle.
he
You're
makes their
my
penis
monster.
look like that.
Turtle.
What?
Turtle.
That's the gross moment.
Oh, horrible
carvings.
penises of the animal kingdom.
just garbage. It's just garbage.
Can I fake like a British accent for it? You know.
Do it.
Do it. Yeah,
do
go
a
for
segment
it.
right now.
Oh, on the spot.
Any
What does a
accent.
British person sound like? Quick, anybody?
Hey, right.
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 All right, so it's gonna. Well, okay. For this one, it would have to be a Cockney accent.
Right, no,
Okay,
oh,
fine,
okay.
fine.
Oh, that
The
would be
cocks,
yes.
the cocks of the animal kingdom.
Wait,
You're stripping Australian.
I know. I
Go
fucking lost it.
Fucking kangaroo cocks it.
I'm not saying they're the prison type people, but it's a prison type island. Just kidding, Australia. We
Plus
love
lots of
you.
marsupials and.
No.
Fix your toilets.
They amaze me every time I see them. I'm like, look, counterclockwise.
Sorry. Oh god, there's an Amber Alert.
Another
There's
one.
been a lot of them. I hope
Yeah.
whoever's child is missing or old person is missing. Wait, is it still Amber Alert if the child is? No, it's something else,
it's
right?
Amber for the
Silver
children
alert
and
for old
Silver.
people.
My
Silver.
girlfriend did not believe me.
She thought it was a joke.
We were driving down.
I knew there was
don't
a
know,
difference.
408 or something. And I'm like, Silver Alert, and I'm like, oh, it's a lost old person. She's like, you're stupid. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? No, and I fucking Googled it. I'm like, look, it's old people. It's a missing old person alert.
You're disingenuous with my girl like this going, silly man.
So
Silly man.
Great, because they're silver, I get it.
No, that's really it.
Silver gorillas in their backs.
Silver fox.
Oh!
Ooh, hey now.
Yeah, they're
Whoa.
missing.
Is that
That's
like
an
your
hour.
polite way of walking me out or talking me off? Like,
Well, it's been an hour.
It's been an hour. Oh well, I'm about to turn back into a pumpkin here in a minute.
Boom, boom, boom. Ba, ba, ba.
Well, thanks for bringing me on here. Man. This was
Do you
fun.
want a recap of your things going on?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to, I'm happy.
break any news that you want, man.
So, yeah, my two big things right now. I got my movie, The Jerry Show, is playing in the Fuck me. Take two. My movie, The Jerry Show, is playing in the Midnight Shorts program both Saturdays of the Florida Film Festival this April 7th and April 14th. Come out at midnight. The one on the 7th will be at the Enzian. The one on the 14th will be at the Regal. My shit's playing. I'll be there. I will be drunk. And I will probably have business cards on me. Then, hopefully, I keep getting yelled at by my girlfriend because I keep forgetting my business cards. Then in November, the Sick and Wrong Film Festival, which is accepting submissions right now. If anybody out there is a filmmaker and you have some fucked up movie that just can't get played at another festival,
Just send them to your Facebook page or links.
yeah,
or...
you can find Sick and Wrong on Facebook. All right, so I'm really bad at picking web addresses. Sick and Wrong has a page. Just go to demonskull.org. There's a link there. Because the page for Sick and Wrong is sick-n-wrong.com. And nobody likes to say that. That is not easy to remember. It's just,
so Demon Skull.
Demonskull.org. Demonskull.org. Demon Skull Orgasm.
Yeah, remember that. That's
Remember
easy.
that. Remember the Demon Skull
I feel like that's going to be his new director name.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right
I'm
now.
changing it. It's like $125 worth of courts to change your name. I'm fucking doing it. It'll show up like when students register for my class, it'll be Professor Demon Skull, and they'll be like,
I mean, I think your classroom is going to get really full really fast.
"There's other things."
So awesome, Stephen. Thanks for
thanks for
coming out to the
it's
show.
fun.
We had a
And
great
thank
time.
you, Cats, for keeping it interesting for us.
Thank you, creatures. We will see you on the next episode. I don't know why I am talking like this.
Because you do that sometimes.
It's the day.
It's a way to cut things out. Like it's like solemn. It's like, and we're gone.
This is our cool down.
It's our NPR closing.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wait, sorry.